Hey there, everyone. North Star Knife Reviews. More wood-handled knives. Yep. We're going to call this one Working Wood because we got some knives that do a lot of work around the house or outside as well. And I think what we'll start with is this Opinel kitchen knife, and I use this a lot. This is very, very slicey. You see that thin blade stock, the blade geometry on this it just slides through food. And so I really like this. Now, this is not a heavy duty knife, but for a lot of little fine tasks, this thing is cool. And this does have carbon steel. You can see it is getting a bit of a patina on here. I actually have two of these, and they work really well. I like them a lot. I think it's a beech wood on the handle on this. There you see. Second, probably my favorite kitchen knife, this Old Hickory cotton sampler. You can see this is carbon also, and this has patina. This actually needs to be sharpened, but the geometry on this one also is so great that it will just go through a lot of stuff. Thin, relatively thin blade stock, very tall profile. And this is what I use to cut things like onions and potatoes and sweet potatoes, any of those root vegetable kind of things that give you they fight back a little bit. This makes short work of those. The only drawback is that stuff does kind of stick to it sometimes, like potatoes, especially if they're really wet, just because it's so smooth on here. But that's not a huge deal. Anyhow, this is just a knife I use pretty much every day. You can see it's the standard Ontario Old Hickory. Still not quite sure what's going on with Ontario. They sold the name and closed the factory. I haven't heard anything more. If anybody knows, let me know. I'd like to know what's happening with them. Hopefully they can bring some production back to the U.S. Finally, the Rapala Superflex fillet knife. Comes in this leather sheath. Not bad, not wonderful, just sort of basic leather sheath. Certainly does the job. And this is Rapala Superflex. You see, very, very flexible blade on this fillet knife. I know some people don't like quite as much flex, but I like the flex on this. Interesting aside, Rapala knives were designed here in Minneapolis, and the headquarters of Rapala USA, or Rapala America, whatever they call it, is in Minnetonka, which is one of the suburbs. I suppose I could say a little bit about Lauri Rapala. If you fish, I'm sure you've heard the Rapala name. Lauri Rapala was a Finnish man, and in the 1930s, he was an avid fisherman, and he started observing that the larger fish, the predators, would go after the injured minnows. So the ones that weren't swimming nicely, the ones that were wiggling a little bit and not swimming quite so nicely. And so he said, I wonder. And he designed a lure that wouldn't swim perfectly, that would, wobble a little bit, mimicking an injured bait fish. Sold millions of them. I think he built his first one. He did it out of cork in 1936, and he covered it like he melted photography film and the shiny part of a chocolate bar wrapper and stuff to cover it and make feathers or whatever on it. Anyway, interesting story. But yeah, so that's where Rapala comes from, and the Rapala knives are actually made by Martini out of Finland. If you're familiar with Martini knives, they're sort of the Finnish version of Mora Kniv. But yeah, this is a lovely little knife too. Not sure what the wood on this one is, but it is very lightweight. If you fish, I'm betting at least some of you have a Rapala. Here's it says on the blade here. And this one is a stainless blade, which in general is what your fillet knives are going to be, just because otherwise they would rust pretty quickly. All right. Well, hey, you guys have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this Working Wood. Thank you to GR Knives and Outdoors. He's the one who had the open tag, show us your wood-handled knives. So if you haven't checked him out, go do so. Please subscribe. Good channel, good guy. And hey, I've got several more shows regarding wood handles. So I'm going to be giving you wood all month, guys. That didn't really come out right, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, you have a good day. You stay sharp, and I'll catch you next time.